You are not going to want to miss this. Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. Welcome back to the channel, friends. And if you're a new friend, welcome. We are glad you're here and we would love to have you as a subscriber. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you'll always know what we're up to. And make sure you stick around until the end of this video because I'm going to share with you a quick and easy recipe that you can make from your prepper pantry for your prepper pantry. Today I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. I know prices are rising like crazy, and let's be honest, I think we've all had to change our spending habits a little bit. Make some adjustments in our shopping list just to survive, let alone building up a stockpile of any sort. So anytime there's a good price or a big sale on any of the things that can help you in your journey to preparedness, we like to let you know about it. Now, you probably know that Thrive Life is a big name in the preparedness world. If you've never heard of Thrive Life, maybe you're new to the channel. They sell premium freeze-dried food. Now, I'm not talking about those big buckets of survival meals full of cheap fillers and strange ingredients that are designed to just buy and throw under your bed or the back of your closet and hope that you never actually have to eat them. No, my friends. These are good, clean, single ingredient foods. Foods that we all eat. Fruits, veggies, meats, cheeses, dairy, and it's all freeze-dried by the best in the industry to lock in the nutrition of the whole food and give it an unsurpassable 25-year shelf life. Those other companies, they don't want you to eat their food. They don't want you to realize that in an emergency, you really don't want to be stuck eating that. This is not that food, folks. Thrive Life wants you to eat the food and see just how amazing it is and how it can change your health and your life and not just sit in your food storage. Now they have only three big sales every year, and one of them is going on right now. Their big back to school sale is running from August 26th through the 29th. For those of you who want to get right over there and start shopping, I'll put a link right up in the corner of the screen, or you can just type in wickedprepared.thrivelife.com into your browser and look for the sale section. It'll have its own page with all the sale items all together. There's some awesome discounts all the way up to 50%. So now is the time to jump if you want to get a head start on stocking your pantry or if you've been building it for a while and you just want to give it a big boost. We've got hurricane season and winter coming and so many other reasons that it's more important now than ever to be prepared. So some highlights of the sale. The instant milk is a big one. Guys, their instant milk is good milk. It's not the powdered milk you remember from your childhood. Last time this was on sale for this price, I bought a case. And listen to this. This is pretty amazing. I sat down and I did the math. And if you get the case of family cans, which is 6 of the gallon-sized cans, that's the cheapest way to buy it, a case of family cans would make 276 cups of milk. Now, if you divide the cost of the case by the number of cups, that comes out to 28 cents per cup of milk. And that's equal to $4.55 a gallon. Now, this is fat-free milk, so I looked at the prices at my Walmart, and that is cheaper than the name brand milk at Walmart. Now, I can get the Great Value brand a little cheaper, but not much. And I can tell you by what I know about Thrive Life and their quality standards that this milk is going to be more on par with the name brand milks. But still, I was blown away. I actually had to sit down and redo my math. And I'll tell you one thing that this milk has that your store-bought milk doesn't have. And that's a 25-year shelf life. You really can't beat that. So if you're not confident in the milk that you have stored right now, then I would consider grabbing a case of this for your pantry. I'm torn myself because I have more than a case on hand, so I was going to skip it this time and put more of my budget towards other things. But after that math, I'm reconsidering, especially if the price of milk continues to go up. I think it's a wise move. So some other things to note, there are a few special offer items in this sale. These are all items that used to be carried and then they were discontinued for whatever reason, and they've brought them back for a limited time just for this sale. Some of the ones that I'm super excited about are the beef slices. They currently have beef dices, shredded beef, and ground beef crumbles, but these are larger beef slices, and I'm really excited to be able to get some of these. They're going to be great for things like stroganoff and dishes like that. The sweetened cranberries are another one that I'm very excited about. They have never had cranberries since I've been a consultant, and I'm very excited to try those. They're going to be wonderful to have this fall for fall baking and snack mixes, snacking, things like that. The confetti cake bites, now these are just really a sweet treat and they do taste good, but I try to focus more on real foods, but a lot of people do like the sweet treats. The Greek yogurt bites, now the yogurt bites are more than just a sweet treat because these actually do have the probiotics and all the good stuff that was in the fresh yogurt. It's maintained in the freeze drying process, and so it's in the yogurt bites that Thrive Life has. They haven't had the Greek flavor for a while. These are a little bit richer and creamier than the regular yogurt bites. And the other special offer is the instant black beans. They're not going to have these all the time, I guess, anymore. And I love the instant beans. I'm sure you've seen me talk about instant beans and use them in some recipes. Instant beans are basically beans that have been cooked and then dehydrated so that they're very fast cooking. You could even just soak them in some boiling water and they would pretty much cook up. but they cook up in about 5 minutes in a dish, and that's a huge difference from regular dry beans that you might have in your food storage. And if you're dealing with a fuel shortage or a grid down emergency where there's a lack of fuel or any kind of emergency like that, that's going to become very important. So besides those special offer items, they also have some limited time items. Now these are items that Thrive Life has put into a special category. They're working really hard to try to keep their core ingredients in stock all the time, some of their most popular items. So they took certain seasonal items and certain items that are a little bit less popular, and they moved them to the limited time status. And that means they'll do one run of production of those items, and then once that sells out, it's gone until they do another run, and that could be the next year. There's certain months that they're doing runs of certain products. For example, applesauce is one that's being offered right now, and that's obviously a seasonal item. Apples are fresh and ready in the fall, and that is one of the things that Thrive Life is known for, is that they always have the freshest produce that they're working with. So the applesauce is something they just produced. The cucumber dices is another limited time item. The shredded Parmesan cheese. A lot of people really love the Parmesan cheese, and they're not going to have that all the time. So if that's something you like, then this is the time to stock up. The butternut squash, that's another probably seasonal item. That's a fall type of item that's harvested in the fall. So now is the time to get your butternut squash. The butternut squash is a great one to have around, especially if you have kids, because it's so sweet and light flavored, but it's also so nutritious. It's packed with vitamin A. It's got a lot of fiber in it. And so this is one that you could blend up into a powder and just stir it into anything. The kids would never even know it was there, but they're getting all that extra nutrition. You could mix it into macaroni and cheese, tomato soup, into anything really, pancakes, puddings, any of those foods that kids love. Whatever your kid likes, it can go into smoothies. It's really a great thing to have around, a great trick for moms to have up their sleeve. And then, of course, the sour cream powder, that has become a limited time item, and that is something that people love to have. It's great to have for an ingredient in recipes, helps make things creamy and flavorful. I have a lot of recipes that use that, so I'm going to be making sure that I am well stocked on the sour cream powder. The other two things that I want to make sure I point out here are the shrimp and the shredded beef. I am very sad to see that they're discontinuing those two items. Those are two of our absolute favorite proteins. The shrimp and the shredded beef are delicious, and they've been discontinued. They're going to continue to sell them until they're gone. And they did say they're discontinued at least for the time being. So I have a feeling that they may bring them back in the future, maybe just for limited time runs, like some of the things in this sale. Or it might be something that they're dealing with right now, like a supply chain issue or a price issue that they're dealing with, and that might be why it's being discontinued for the time being. But we absolutely love both of those proteins. They're some of our favorites. I do have recipe videos using those items that I will link down in the description box in case you want to check out some of the ways that we use these. But I'm going to be getting as much of those two items as I possibly can because we love them and they're going to be gone. So some of the other items on the flyer, we've covered a lot of it, but they've got blackberries and strawberries on sale, 25% off. Those are great to have if you want to have snacks for your kids to send to school, to throw in a smoothie for an after school snack, anything like that. Instant brown rice, mashed potatoes. These are their mashed potato flakes. They are just potatoes, nothing else. Shredded cheddar cheese, that's another favorite ingredient. I mean, it's very difficult to have something like shredded cheese in your food storage, but this is just like fresh shredded cheese. You just add a tiny bit of water, let it set, it refreshes into cheddar cheese, it melts just like fresh cheddar cheese would. It's really amazing. And you know what else? It's actually very tasty as a dry snack. This is one of my favorite keto snacks, to just grab a handful of the shredded cheese. You can mix it with some of the sausage crumbles or the ground beef crumbles, anything like that. It's a great low carb snack. So then the other thing that they have on sale during the sale is all of their shelving, their can rotating racks. I have these, I have both types, and I'm always adding to them. I use the pantry can consolidators. You can put these together end to end. You can stack them. They can make basically a custom unit any size. Now, one thing that I will say, because you know how I like to do the math and figure out what the best deal is, with the pantry units, they have the pantry and the pantry plus. Now, it's hard to explain, but the pantry is basically 2 units wide and the pantry plus is 3 units wide. So with the pantry, you're getting 2/3 of the same unit that you're getting with the pantry plus. And they can work together. And I did the math on it, and it looks like it's a better deal to get the pantry unit rather than the pantry plus. For that extra half of the unit that you're getting, you're paying a little bit more comparatively, if that makes any sense. So I would recommend getting the pantry unit and more of those rather than getting the pantry plus. And then if you want the larger can systems, these are really large. These are pretty much like, they need like a dedicated area for them. I have one in my food storage room, and then we're setting up the basement to be able to have a couple more down there. But they are super cool. They rotate the cans on a first in, first out basis so that you can make sure that you're rotating your food, and it makes it so easy to do that. Another thing that you don't want to miss checking out in the sale are the brand new meals that Thrive just introduced. Now these are like the backpacking meals that you may have seen other companies have. This is a complete meal. You can just add boiling water to it and it refreshes refreshes and it becomes a complete meal. You can even do it right in the bag if you're on the go, hiking, on the trail, anything like that. So these are great for backpacking. They're great for your 72-hour kits. They're great for your bug out bags. So far, they've released 2 different varieties. They have the cheesy chicken, which is this one right here. And they have the vegetable pasta primavera. They do have several more varieties coming soon, but these are the only 2 that they have out so far. And these are not just your typical cheapo survival meals. These have real meat, real vegetables, real ingredients. They really have the Thrive Life quality of everything. So make sure that you head on over and check those out. And then, of course, all of the regular August specials that have been on sale all month are still on sale during the sale. And just during the sale time, you do not have to have a delivery set up to get the sale prices on these items. There's some really great items here that would really add some great flavor and nutrition to your prepper pantry. They've got broccoli, peas, corn, blueberries, peaches, pineapple. So don't forget to check those out as well. Make sure you stick around till the end of the video. I'm going to show you a recipe or 2 that we can put together using the items that are on sale. Now, you don't have to use the delivery service to get the sale prices, but it really is the best way to shop with Thrive Life. And it's really not scary at all. It seems like an auto ship that's, you have to commit to, but it's really not like that. You set it up and then you have complete control over it. You can skip a delivery, you can change the dates, you can change the items. If you're not good at checking your email and keeping track of things, you can even just go into your account and just toggle it on and off so that you don't have to worry about anything shipping without you realizing it. Because they do email you 5 days before your delivery's set to process, so you can go in and change the items if you want, check it out, make sure that everything is in stock. You can skip that delivery if you want to. You can change the date on it, any of those things. But with the delivery service, you get free shipping on any order over $99. So that's really a big, huge bonus. That'll save you at least 12% or more on every order, just saving on shipping. So you definitely want to use the delivery service if you can. You set that up through the truck icon, or you can just choose delivery service as you're checking out with your regular shopping cart. It should lead you through that process and give you the option to do that. Now that I've shown you some of the things that are on sale, I promised you a recipe. So we're going to put together a just add water applesauce muffin mix in a jar. These muffins are absolutely delicious. They're a great treat for fall. They'd be a great breakfast, a great snack. They'd be a great gift to bring as a hostess gift or to a new neighbor. Now this muffin mix is going to use the applesauce that's on sale as well as the instant milk that's on sale. I chose this recipe to show at the end of my video because I don't want the video to be too long, and this is really such a quick and easy recipe. Just a few minutes to whip up the mix and then just a minute or 2 to get it ready to go in the oven, bake for 20 minutes, and they're done and delicious. So let's go. Okay, so to put together this muffin mix in the jar, all I need is a wide mouth quart jar, and we're going to be using a canning funnel just to get things in the jar more easily. And we're going to start with 2 cups of flour. Now I keep my flour in these. This is a very old Rubbermaid container that I've had since college, and it's just easy to scoop out of, and I always scoop my flour. You should scoop it lightly and level it off. That just keeps it from being too packed down and getting the measurements off. It makes your baked goods just come out better. So I always keep a little spoon and a chopstick in my flour container. There's 1 cup, and there's 2 cups. Okay, I'll go ahead and put this away and get out the sugar. Now before the sugar, I'm going to go ahead and put a teaspoon of baking soda. And with my baking soda, I always pass it through a fine mesh strainer before I put it in, just to make sure you don't get any unpleasant lumps. It's really unpleasant if you bite into a lump of baking soda in your cake or cookie or whatever you have. Next, I'm going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now I've got these little spice dispensers. These I love. They go in a round rack, and each click of the dial gives you a 1/4 teaspoon, so you really don't have to use your measuring spoons that much. They have a little trap door on the bottom. Give it 1 click, that's a 1/4 teaspoon, and 2 clicks is a 1/2 teaspoon. I just give it a little tap on the side just to make sure that everything came out of the little channel that it comes out of. So there's the cinnamon, and I have my salt in one of these too, just so I don't have to use my measuring spoons for that. And then we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and allspice. So there's the nutmeg. And there's the allspice. And then we're going to do 3/4 cup of sugar. There's 3/4 cup. Put this one away. So next I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of scrambled egg powder. Now this one I don't have in its canister yet because the canister is in the wash. So there's a 1/4 cup of scrambled egg powder. So that's why this is a just add water mix, because everything is going to be included in a dry form. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of instant milk. Now 2 tablespoons is the same as 1/8 of a cup, so I happen to have 1/8 of a cup measure, so I'm going to use that. Now the instant milk, of course, is on sale in the big sale. And next we need a 1/4 of a cup of butter powder. I'm going to go ahead and get this tapped down just to make sure that we have room for our final ingredient, because the final ingredient is going to be the applesauce, the powdered applesauce. Okay. So here we've got our applesauce. And this is all dehydrated, so you would just add water to that and blend it and it would make applesauce, but I'm just going to add it right into my muffin mix. 3/4 of a cup. There's 1, 2, 3/4 of a cup. Now, as you can see, that fills our jar up pretty well. Now, if you were going to save this for later, you could vacuum seal this, but I'm going to prepare this for you right away just to show you how beautiful they turn out. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw a lid on it just for look. All right, so I've just got a wide mouth lid and ring here. And there you go. There's your applesauce muffin just add water mix. All right, guys, so here is our mix. Look how beautiful this is. You can see all the layers of the ingredients that we put in. And this would make a beautiful gift, and it just makes a really easy treat for the family. Even the kids could whip this up. Let's see how easy it is. All right, so we're just going to open up our mix. And I'm just going to dump it into the bowl here. And then I'm just going to take a whisk and whisk this around just to mix everything together. Now, I always try to do this with my baking mixes that I make if I don't mix them before I put them in the jar. But last time I made these, I totally forgot to do this, and it still came out fine. It's kind of a law about being me, is every time I do something, I'm going to forget at least one thing. But everything usually turns out okay in the end. But this will make sure that we don't have any clumps of spices or clumps of baking soda or anything else that gets clumped up in one area and causes this not to come out well. So now that this is all mixed together, I'm just going to add 2 cups of water. This is just cold water. And we're just going to mix this up. All right, so now that that's all mixed up, I've got my muffin tins here, and I've got them lined with these foil liners. These are the best liners. The muffins don't ever stick to these at all if you let them cool a little bit before you take them out. So I'm just going to use my big muffin scoop. It's actually, maybe it's an ice cream scoop, I don't know, but we're going to use this to scoop the muffins in here. And I can do 1 full scoop in each cup, and if I did it like that, I could get more than a dozen muffins. But what I usually do is just divide it evenly between the 12 cups, and it makes a pretty big muffin. It has a nice top up over the top of the, you know, the top of the muffin is nice and high, and I like that. So after I get a scoop in each, I'll go back and add a little bit more to each cup. Go ahead and get as big of a scoop as you can in each one, because you're not going to run out of mix. And then I'm just going to go through and add a smaller little dibby dab to each one. So now that I've got these all evened up pretty well, and they're all pretty full, you can see my tins. I know they say to fill them only like 2/3 full. These are pretty full, but it's going to be okay. I've got my oven preheating behind me to 350. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And I will be right back when they're done. All right, guys, here they are. Look how nice and high they are. Now, these only needed 20 minutes, and they're done. So they smell amazing. I'm going to let them cool a little bit, and then we'll break into one and see how they look on the inside. All right, so now that these have cooled off a little bit, I promised we would take a look inside of them. I actually let them cool a little bit more than I planned to. I had to run and pick up my daughter, but they're super moist, they're soft, they're delicious. What way do you cut your muffins? Do you cut them horizontally like this, or do you cut them down this way? I do a little bit of each, but they're really amazing and they're delicious, and a little bit of butter on them is great, and my kids are going to eat these right up. You know, guys, I know I've said this before, and I'm sure I'll say it again, but it never fails to amaze me, no matter how many times I do this, that you can put some simple ingredients into one mason jar, just add water, and come up with such amazing things. We have a whole playlist on meals in a jar and mixes in a jar, so go ahead and check it out and see some of the other amazing things that you can make in a jar with your Thrive Life foods. I hope you got a chance to go over and check out the sale. Even if you don't purchase today, make sure to register as a customer on the website wickedprepared.thrivelife.com, and that way we'll stay in touch and we'll let you know every time there's sales, new products, everything like that. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me an apple emoji down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.